To put it in another light, what if a presidential candidate got up and said, and they were like, so, what have you been doing to protect us against terrorists after 9/11? And he's like, I have been sacrificing chickens daily, so I think we are almost done with this problem. I mean, this is sort of an extreme hyperbole,
Right.
but it sort of highlights the absurdity of the point.
It definitely does. And, well, okay, that's cruel, cutting off chickens' heads. And, but do you know anyone who's been circumcised? And how cruel is this? In fact, tying this back to, in terms of improbability or atheism, here's one of the reasons why I don't believe. Imagine this story about a man who's, I don't know, working in the field or something one day, and he starts to hear a voice. He starts to hear voices. What have you heard this story? I know this guy who he started to hear voices, and the voices told him to kill his son on top of a rock. Bring your son to this hilltop, place him on a rock, and kill him. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah,
and then let's say this guy actually does that, and you're like, wow, this guy's crazy. I can't believe he's in the charge of children. So then, he's about to kill this boy, about to strike down, and all of a sudden the voices are like, psych! Yeah, I don't want you to kill him. I just want you to rip the tip of his penis off.
And you're like, oh, that's so much better. That makes perfect sense.
Oh my god, you must have created the universe. Holy shit. This all-knowing, all-powerful being who makes black holes in galaxies trillions of times over wants me to slice the foreskin off of my son's penis as a promise to him. This means something to him in the scope of the entire universe. This is very, very important to him. Oh my god.
In fact, there's another passage in the Bible which says that at one point somebody demanded that he brought them like 100 foreskins or something as reward for something. I think, God said, I'll destroy your enemy if you bring me 100 foreskins or something sort of like that.
Oh my god, that's absurd.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But on a slightly separate note, the other day I was reading about Hindu or Hindi religion, I forget which one. Not two different things? I think they're two different things. And it said that it talked about time scales that they have in their religion. And they have this thing, I think it was called A Day in the Life of Raman or A Year in the Life of Rama or some shit like that. And it was 8.5 billion years. And there were actually other greater numbers in there.
Uh-huh.
And it's the only religion which has any like reference numbers that are actually astronomical in scale.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Oh, that's wicked.
Yeah. Actually, I think Christianity and Islam are just like so boring compared to the other religions.
It's true. We only have one god. They have millions.
That's true. It's like a hardcore superhero party.
It is a superhero party with multiple arms. There's a god of death. Well, the Roman religions are very interesting. In fact, some of the wickedest stories I've heard from Roman and Greek religions, and Hercules and Zeus and Hermes.
Yeah.
The stories of the god of war, Ares, and oh wow, there's a whole breadth of literature that is beautiful and full of metaphor and even proverbial in a sense. And sure, the Bible can be seen in that way. If you read it in some stories, read it on some metaphor.
Yeah.
But how seriously are you going to be taken if you say you believe in the god Poseidon, for example? This is Sam Harris' point. But let's say, I believe in the Hermes god of speed, or Hades, the god, and I pray that Hades doesn't destroy me every day, and I need some time allocated at my workplace to pray to this god.
Yeah, you gotta have prayer room for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait. Not only that, you gotta give them your fucking tax money because they're hardcore like that.
You gotta give them tax money. Oh, for sure. There are countries that still give money to the church.
We give them tax exemption, man. Are you kidding me?
That's true. Register for a religion. Get your tax exemption.
I think it's absurd to do with a for-profit business.
Well, there's definitely. I'd say it's a conflict of interest. If take the teachings of Jesus in the Bible, and let's say you transport him to today, and he took a look at the Vatican, and just how happy would he be? How much would he love this shit?
Assuming he existed.
Actually,
I do believe he existed. But only because this is a point from your favorite guy. What's his name? Boy Crush?
Christopher Hitchens?
Christopher Hitchens, yeah. He makes this point. He says that the Bible is so excruciatingly, obviously false and faked that there almost had to be something they were trying to bend it from. Because if they could just make shit up, they would never make it so obviously false.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't they just make up a more convincing story? It's almost like they started with something and then they twisted it into this. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that's why I think Jesus probably could have. I haven't eliminated the possibility of Jesus existing.
That's pretty cool. Although I think this has been debunked, but that whole the Zeitgeist story, part 1 of the video Zeitgeist on the internet.
It's true, although you can't really trust Zeitgeist in and of itself because it is a conspiracy theory. I mean, there's only so much credibility you can give to your average conspiracy theory.
No, definitely. And what I'm talking about, in case anybody doesn't know, is the case brought about by the Zeitgeist video that the story of Jesus is plagiarized. One thing they cite is Horus, the Egyptian god, being spoken of. Yeah, it did check out, being spoken of the Lamb of God, dying, rising after 3 days, all that good stuff. Just look up zeitgeist.com or look for the video. It's an entertaining video.
Although I would say that overall it's an entertaining conspiracy video, but you have to realize that there's many inaccuracies and falsehoods in there. So you have to take it all in as for its entertainment value rather than its truth-seeking value.
Definitely. Don't take everything with a grain of salt. Look with a good.
Especially take us with a grain of salt.
Oh please, yeah. Do your fact checking and shit. Don't take our word for it. You look it up.
Exactly.
In fact, that's a pretty good thing. That's I think that should be a
tenet of atheism is to self-criticism. I think. Although I should mention that most people who today are religious, they compartmentalize it in a way that doesn't really interfere with most of their time.
It's that's absolutely true. People compartmentalize their brains to absurd degrees. You have neuroscientists studying the human brain, knowing how it thinks, knowing where the God center of the brain is, and seeing what happens, what kind of reactions happen when you're praying and things like this, where it makes sense that these are chemical reactions or just sort of biological innate reactions, yet they believe in a creator. Just like, who figured out the human genome was a hardcore Christian.
Yeah, although I think, he wasn't, I don't know how hardcore he was. He claims his reason to becoming a Christian was that he saw a frozen waterfall, which I think is one of the weakest reasons you could possibly have for adopting any belief.
Yeah, for living a certain way to believing that this is the truth and reality of the universe is kind of laughable, if not touching.